Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Brim Morgan. I am a horror author. I am also a teller of scary stories. And tonight is Paranormal Wednesday. Do you like scary stories? Hello. Hey, Bling Queen. Hey, it's just me. Hey, Brody. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Julie. Hey, Tara. Hey, Paul. Hey, Rebecca. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Hello. Hey, Amber. Hey, Shirley. Hey, honey. Hey, Kimmy. Hello, Brian. Don't forget to sing your dailies, your heartbeat, and let's start sharing the live. 5 friends, 10 friends, 15, 20. Let's get it out there. Hello, Diana. Snake Catcher, thank you for the follow. Snake Catcher, do you like scary stories? Hello, Lily. Bum, 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 bum. Tonight we travel to the great state of Maine. Hey, White Channel. Thank you, X. How are you doing, darling? Thank you. Hello, Lulu. Thank you for the share.
How?
Hey, Kimberly. Who's ready for Paranormal Wednesday? Show hands. There we go. Who's getting a lot of rain? Hello, Jareen Leslie. How are you doing tonight, darling? Thank you for the rose. Here too, Rebecca. It's chilly. That's why I've got this little thing on. Thank you, Shirley. I am doing good, Jareen. Thank you for asking. The Halloween snow? Really? We will definitely do that. Let's send out prayers to Jamaica and Cuba tonight. I heard they were hit extremely hard. We have one of our own, Rose, that is from Jamaica, and from what I understand, she suffered minimal damage. But let's be in prayer for those that were hit hard. Oh, I can imagine. I would love to visit Colorado. Oh, really, Diana? I'm from the southern portion of the U.S. Where are you from? Why don't you tell everyone in the live where you're from? Five minutes. Hey, Zoe Ann. Pastelina. Hello, C. Hello, Nikki. Des is in the upstate of South Carolina. Hello, neighbor. Hey, Rose. Hey, Pamela. Two minutes. Dr. Frankenstein. Welcome back. Thank you for sharing the live. Tap, 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 tap. You know what happens? And we saw the proof of it last night. When you start tapping, it picks up, the algorithm picks up, and it says, hey, hold on a minute. There's a live that is worth watching. Let's send some more over. Thank you. Who's ready for a bedtime story? Tonight is Paranormal Wednesday, and tonight we are visiting the great state of Maine. When I typed in what the most terrifying haunting was in Maine, it was unanimous. Over every website that I searched, Wikipedia, you name it, they all said one place, one location. Let me show you a picture. You might be surprised. The Seguin Island Lighthouse. When I tell you that it's haunted, it's haunted. Let me show you another picture. Now, I have been seeing these pictures for years and had no idea that they were as haunted as they were. And this is the story that I will be sharing with you tonight. Indeed. Hello, kindness first. Welcome in. Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Bryn Morgan. I'm also a horror author, and I love telling scary stories, paranormal stories, ghost stories, true crime, supernatural, serial unalivers, urban legends, cryptids, you name it, Appalachian horror. We cover it all here. Tonight is one of my favorite nights, though, Paranormal Wednesday. Welcome to the Night Realm. I am the Night Queen. You are my night dwellers, and you have came for a story, haven't you? Well, let me not disappoint. But first, let me tell you that this is a warm, safe, loving, welcoming environment. There is no judgment here. I want you to come in for the next couple of hours and relax. Let the cares of the day just melt away. And relax, sit back, and listen to the story of this Seguin Island Lighthouse. We have a way of how we go into story time here. Let's do that now. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Light a candle for ambiance. But we all know it's to chase those shadows away. Pull your curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. The Song of Seguin Island, a true Maine haunting. They say that the dead don't speak. They're wrong. On a windswept island off the coast of Maine, in a lighthouse keeper's house that should be empty, two voices sing every night. The same melody, the same cursed song, over and over and over again, forever. This is what happened to them. This is how the song claimed their souls. This is why you should never, ever listen. But you're already listening to the story, aren't you? And once you know the melody, it never lets go. Part 1, The Crossing. The lighthouse tender by the name of Iris cut through the slate gray water, and Daniel Pierce stood at the rail watching the mainland disappear into the October mist. His wife, Catherine, a beautiful little thing with long brown hair and bright blue eyes, pressed against his side, one gloved hand tucked into the crook of his elbow. And Daniel could feel her trembling, not from cold, from excitement. He looked down at her, tall, handsome. "Are you sure about this?" he asked for the third time that morning. Mary squeezed his arm. "I've never been more sure about anything, except marrying you." Daniel looked down at her. She was 23 years old, to his 33, dark hair escaping from her hat, her eyes bright with adventure. Catherine Mary Ashworth Pierce. He called her Mary, though he didn't know why. She was a doctor's daughter from Philadelphia, who'd scandalized her family terribly by marrying a merchant sailor. But from the moment that she saw him in church and heard his voice singing, she fell in love. She'd never lived anywhere that had gas lamps and cobblestone streets. She was wealthy, lived in a mansion, and now she was headed to a lighthouse. She was sailing to a rock in the Atlantic, where they would be alone for 6 months. No one around them, just her and Daniel. No conversation, just her husband. And she was happy about that. It's not like Boston, Mary, Daniel said carefully, especially in the winter. The supply boats can't always make it through. I want you to understand what you're going to be facing. Sometimes we'll go weeks without seeing another soul. Good. Catherine lifted her face up to him. Her smile was fierce. Let them think that we've fallen off the edge of the world. It'll be our world. Just ours, Daniel. Yours and mine. Doesn't that excite you? Captain Morrison's voice carried from the wheelhouse. Seguin Island, dead ahead. Daniel turned to look. Mary did too, and there it was. A blade of granite thrust up from the sea. Maybe 3 acres of rock toppled with scrub pine, bent horizontal by centuries of wind. The lighthouse rose from the highest point, 50 feet of white stone with the black iron galleries circling the light. Below it, the keeper's house. It was a charming Cape Cod cottage with shuttered windows that stared at the endless ocean like dead eyes. Beautiful in that stark way and utterly, completely isolated. It's perfect, Catherine breathed. Something moved in Daniel's peripheral vision then. Captain Morrison standing too close, his weathered face grim. Final chance to change your mind, Pierce. The posting's already accepted, and me and my wife are happy to be here. I know. Morrison pulled out his pipe, but he didn't light it, just worried it between his teeth. How much exactly did they tell you about that station? Just standard details. 4th order Fresnel lens, foghorn, logbook every 4 hours. Nothing about the keepers. Daniel felt Catherine tense beside him. It's okay, Mary. What about the keepers? Morrison looked out at the island, now close enough that Daniel could see the wooden stairs cut into the cliff face. 127 steps. He counted them in the photograph that the Lighthouse service had provided. You're replacing Thomas Welch. He lasted 4 months. Mary looked at the captain. Why exactly are you telling us this? It's as if you don't want us to go. That's up to you, ma'am. Before him was Henry Drake, 3 months. And before Drake was Samuel Norton, 6 weeks. Morrison finally met Daniel's eyes and Mary's. You see a pattern, son? Mentally postings all the time, sir. Not like this. Not requesting emergency evacuation. Not. Morrison trailed off, shook his head. No mind. You're a young couple. Nothing's gonna change it. Look, I've been running supplies to lighthouses for 20 years. Every station has its hardships. Isolation, weather, monotony. Most keepers adjust. Some don't. We will do just fine. But Seguin, he paused. Seguin is different. Different how? Mary asked, her little voice sharp, but rising above the waves and the wind. Morrison looked at her for a long moment. Welch wouldn't talk about it when he came back to port. He came back home off this rock, white as a sheet. Couldn't stop looking over his shoulder. Drake the same. Norton. The captain's jaw worked. Norton tried to swim back to the mainland in November at night. In full keeper's uniform, they found him. We found him 2 miles out, drowned. His face was... He stopped himself. Would you stop? You are terrifying my wife. It's all right, Daniel. I may be little, but I am not weak. His face was what? Mary demanded. Well, that's the oddest part. He was smiling, Morrison said quietly. He drowned, smiling. Pierce, it's up to you and your wife what you want to do, but when we found him, it was like something wonderful was pulling him down. Silence, except for the engine and the cry of the seagulls overhead. If you're just trying to tell these ghost stories to keep us from going there, you have met the wrong couple. We're not leaving, Mary said, her chin lifted stubbornly. My husband is the best keeper that you will find. And I'm not some delicate flower who will wilt from a little isolation. We're staying, and we are going to be very happy here for the next 6 months. Tell him, Daniel. Morrison studied her, then nodded slowly. All right, but I'm going to tell you something nobody told the others, because you're a woman, and that changes things. He lowered his voice. Don't listen. Don't listen to what? Don't listen to whatever you hear. And whatever you do, don't sing along with it. What are you talking about? You're talking in riddles. Don't listen to the singing, especially at night, especially in the fog. This place has a voice, and if you listen to it too long, he tapped his temple, it gets inside. You understand? Daniel didn't, but he nodded. Yes. And one more thing. Morrison's eyes flicked to Catherine. There used to be a piano in that keeper's house. It was there for years. The service finally removed it in '81. When the weather gets a little better, we could bring that out to you. Oh, that would be wonderful. Yes. Oh, music, the ocean, the island, us. It sounds so perfect, Daniel. I would love that. He was here with the past 3 wives. They said that the piano was constantly heard. Maybe it's just that. Maybe that's what the music is. And then the captain did something very odd. He motioned to Daniel. Come here. What? Women do not do very well here. There were 3 keepers' wives. Before the 3 that I mentioned, they all came with their wives. And all 3 of them went mad. The isolation got to them. The music. They all walked into the sea afterward. The words hung in the salt air like a curse. That's just coincidence, Daniel said, but his voice sounded hollow even to himself. Maybe. Morrison turned away. We'll be there in 5 minutes. Get your things ready. I want to be back at land by the night. When they arrived at the house, it smelled of salt and mildew and something else. Something sweet, but yet rotten, like flowers left too long in a vase. Catherine wrinkled her little nose as she stepped inside. Oh, the smell! But she smiled anyway, running her hand along the kitchen table. The iron stove, over the rough plaster walls. Well, it's a bit dingier than I thought it was, but with the curtains that Mother got me and the bedspread and some of the other things that I have in my trunk, I will have this place looking darling by the time I'm done. It needs airing out, she announced loudly, and a good scrubbing. But look at it, Daniel. The bones are good. Thomas Welch stood in the corner, his trunk already packed, looking at the young woman. His coat was already buttoned. He was maybe 35, Daniel would judge, but he looked older. His eyes were ringed with darkness so deep that it looked like bruising, and his hand shook when he pointed to the features of the house. There's a cistern for rainwater. You won't be able to get into it in the winter. You'll have to break it with an axe. Stays fresh, but check it every week for sediment that settles at the bottom. Stove burns coal or wood. The bedroom window faces east, so you'll get sunrise if... He swallowed. If the fog lifts. When does the fog usually lift? Daniel asked. Welch laughed. A sharp, brittle sound. Does it? I don't remember anymore. Maybe it never does. Maybe the whole world is just fog now, and we just dream the sunshine. Catherine and Daniel exchanged glasses. Mr. Welch, Catherine said gently, placing a hand on his shoulder. May I ask, when did you last sleep? You look so tired. Sleep? Welch's eyes focused on her, and for a moment, something moved in their depths. Something that looked afraid. You can't sleep here. Not really. You close your eyes and you hear it. The voice. Under everything, under the wind and the waves and the foghorn. It'll be quiet at first, but then you're gonna hear it, and it's gonna come back, and it's singing. It's always singing. Can't you hear it now? He tilted his head, listening to something that Daniel and Mary couldn't perceive. She tilted her head. No, I don't hear anything. If you'll excuse us, ma'am, I'm going to show your husband the light now. Welch said abruptly and headed for the door, without even checking if they followed. Mary thought to herself, what a peculiar fellow. They climbed the tower, 73 iron steps spiraling up through darkness. Daniel's legs burned by the time they reached the top, and he made a huffing sound. You won't be doing that later. Your legs will get used to it. But Welch ascended without apparent effort, like he climbed these stairs 1,000 times. Maybe he had. The lantern room was beautiful when they reached the top. Sweeping views of the Atlantic, all brass and glass, and that magnificent Fresnel lens, its prisms catching the afternoon light and breaking it into rainbows. It's a fourth order lens, Welch said, running his hand along it with something like love. Visible for 15 nautical miles in clear weather. Light or dusk, tend every 4 hours through the night. Extinguish at dawn. Keep the brass polished. Keep the glass clean. And no matter what, keep the light burning. What about if, he turned to Daniel, and his voice dropped to a whisper. That's all that matters. The light. As long as the light burns, you're safe. But if it goes out, he gripped Daniel's arm, the fingers digging in hard enough to bruise. Don't let it go out. Especially not in the fog. If the light goes out in the fog, that's when it can reach you. That's when it comes up from the water and... Mr. Welch! Captain Morrison's voice bellowed from below. The boat's ready! Let's do this! Welch released Daniel like he'd been burned. He looked around the lantern room for the last time, his face crumbling. I'm sorry, he whispered. God forgive me, I'm sorry. I should warn you properly. I should tell you everything, but I can't say it out loud. You'll find out soon enough. Because if I say it, it makes it real, and if it's real... He pushed past Daniel and fled down the stairs. Daniel stood over the balcony and yelled, Wait! Has it ever went out? Welch looked up at him. Yes. It did. Daniel watched as Welch and the captain pushed out to sea. He stood alone in the lantern room looking out at the endless gray water. He could see fog rolling in from the east, thick and white as wool. It swallowed the horizon, swallowed the mainland. By the time that Daniel descended the stairs, it had swallowed the island itself. He had never seen fog like that before, so thick. Captain Morrison and his crew left quickly, their boat vanishing into the white within minutes. Daniel and Mary stood on the cliff, listening to the engine fade, until there was nothing but silence. No, not silence. There was never silence. There was the wind and the waves. And underneath, so faint Daniel thought he might imagine it, something else. Did he hear music? No. Something that might have been singing. Or might have been the particular way that the wind moved through the pines and around the tower. Might have been. Mary took his hand. It's going to be wonderful, she said. Daniel squeezed her fingers and prayed that she was right. Welch had put a very bad taste in his mouth. That night, Mary followed him as he walked up the stairs and lit the lamp for the first time. The lens began to turn, powered by its clockwork mechanism, and its beam cut through the fog like a knife through flesh. Daniel watched it sweep across the water, illuminating nothing revealing no ships, no boats, just pushing back the darkness for one moment before he rushed back in. He thought about what Welch had said. Don't let it go out. And he wondered what might be out there in the dark, waiting for the light to fail. And what would happen if it did? Judging from the look on Welch's face when he looked up at him and informed him that it had been out on his shift, it must not be anything good. The end of chapter 1. Part 2, the first signs. October was kind to Daniel and Mary. The weather held mostly fair, gray but not stormy, cold but not bitter. Cold enough that Mary had to wear a shawl. The fog came and went in banks, sometimes thick enough that Daniel couldn't see the keeper's house from the tower, sometimes lifting entirely to reveal blue sky and distant ships passing south. Catherine did indeed transform the house into something darling with furious energy. She scrubbed every surface until the wood gleamed, hung curtains that she brought from Boston, a cheerful gingham pattern in red and white, arranged their few books on a shelf, planted herbs in clay pots on the kitchen windowsill, rosemary and thyme that filled the house with their green scent, covering that undeniable smell of rot. In the evenings, Daniel and Mary would walk hand in hand. They'd walk the perimeter of the island. 3 acres wasn't much, but they made it their kingdom. Mary collected beach glass, worn smooth by the waves. She would look at it in wonder, in shades of green and brown, and sometimes a rare blue. She'd hold them up to the light, turning them in her fingers, delighted by the way that they glowed. "Daniel, look! It's like treasure," she said. "Like the sea, it's giving us gifts." Daniel pointed out passing ships to Mary. They would wonder where that they were going, teaching her to read their rigging, their flags. She'd wave at them even though no one aboard could possibly see her, and Daniel loved her for it, for her determination to make this isolation feel like community. She was handling it better than he was. At night, Daniel tended the light while Catherine read by lamplight downstairs. He'd look down from the gallery and see the warm glow from the kitchen window, perhaps see Mary's small shadow moving past, and feel a contentment he'd never known. His wife, his helpmeet, his home, his purpose. This was working. This was good. And if this went really well for them over the next 6 months, why could they not stay another 6 months? What if this became their permanent station? But there were moments, small things, easy to dismiss at first, that began to creep into their lives, that felt wrong. The smell, for instance. Despite Catherine's scrubbing and her greenery, it never quite went away. It was a sweet rot scent that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Some mornings were stronger than others. Some mornings Daniel would wake it to the thick of it in his nostrils. He especially felt bad for Mary. She was with child, and the smell would make her extremely nauseous. Something dead almost smelled like it was blooming in the room with him, and the sounds. When Daniel found out that Mary was indeed pregnant with their child, he told her, "Mary, listen to me. You can go back to the mainland. You don't have to sit here and be miserable. I will do no such thing. I am your wife. And it says in the good book that wherever you go, I will go. And wherever you lodge, I will lodge. And so that means if you are lodging here at the Lighthouse, then so am I. Now shush. I don't want to hear another word." The island was never quiet. Wind howled around the tower. Waves crashed against cliffs. The foghorn groaned its warning. The house itself creaked and settled. All normal sounds, all explainable. But sometimes, usually at night, usually when the fog was thick, Daniel would hear something else. A low sound, almost below the threshold of hearing. Not quite music, not quite voice, something in between. The first time that he mentioned it, Catherine laughed. She was lying in bed, trying to recover from her nausea. "It's the wind in the pines, Daniel. Please don't bother me with this. Or maybe it's seabirds. This is their home too, remember?" She was right. Of course, she was right. But the sound continued, and Daniel began to notice patterns in it. Not melodies exactly, but rhythms, like breathing, like singing, like something vast and patient making sounds that were almost words. He didn't mention it again because he didn't want to make Mary upset. November came with the first real storm. It hit on the 3rd, a nor'easter that turned the sea to chaos and terrified Mary. Waves crashed over the cliffs, sending spray so high that it rattled the gallery windows. The wind shrieked like some living thing. Daniel spent the days securing everything, breaking in firewood, checking the cistern and the oil storms. The storm lasted for 3 days. For 3 days, they lived in a world of violence. The house shook. The tower swayed. Daniel could feel it up in the lantern room, a slow pendulum motion that turned his stomach. The foghorn blasted every 30 seconds. Moo. In the wind, it sounded like an animal in agony. On the second night, the clockwork mechanism that turned the lens broke. Daniel was doing his midnight check when he heard the grinding sound. Metal on metal, wrong and harsh. The lens stopped turning. The light continued to burn, but it no longer swept across the Atlantic. It just pointed in one direction, frozen. Daniel's hands went cold. He remembered Welch's words. "Don't let it go out." Daniel panicked. He scrambled to fix it. Mary hollered up the stairwell. "What's wrong with the light, Daniel? Daniel, it's not moving." "I know, Mary." He scrambled to fix it, his fingers clumsy with sudden fear. The mechanism was complex, gears and weights and precision timing. He'd been trained on it, but not extensively. Not enough for this. It took him 2 hours to find the problem. It was a broken pin in the gear assembly. Another hour to fabricate a replacement from a bent nail and a piece of wire. His hand shook the entire time. And for just a minute, only a minute, the light went out. He turned quickly. He bent down. He took the hammer and bent the nail a little bit lower. Oh God, the light was out. The Atlantic was dark. Ships were out there, boats, perilous at sea if they did not have the light. His hands were shaking. And while he worked, the light stationary, pointing out at the storm-tossed sea, and the light out, he could swear that something was moving out there in the darkness. Something large, swimming in slow circles around the island, staying just beyond the darkness. Finally, the light came back on, still stationary, shining out across the waves. At least it was something. And he would catch glimpses, or thought he did, of a shadow darker than the water, a shape that didn't move like a wave. Once he could have sworn he saw something break the surface, not a whale, not a ship, something else. Finally, about a half-past hour later, when he finally got the mechanism working again and the lens resumed its sweep, Daniel felt such relief that he nearly wept. The beam moved across the water, illuminating foam and spray and an empty black sea. I pray to God no boats were out there. They're dead. They're dead if they were. And then he heard Welch's voice again. Don't let it go out. Yes, it had went out, but it was only for seconds, not even a full minute. There was nothing out there. Nothing else. Nothing at all. The storm broke on the 4th day, and the supply boat came on the 5th. Captain Morrison and his crew brought mail, newspapers, lamp oil, coal, salt pork, flour. Mary had requested tea, and there it was, in a small tin can. Oh, I have so missed my tea. Did you bring the cups? The teacups? Yes, ma'am. They're right here. One of them was chipped during the sale, but Mary didn't care. She asked the men questions about the mainland. How have things been going? Is everyone preparing for the holiday? Daniel helped unload while Mary sorted through letters from her family. Her face fell as it landed on one in particular. The boat had left. Mary sat beside the fireplace. Her face was crestfallen. What is it, love? She held up a letter, her hand trembling. My father. He's ill. Pneumonia, Mother says. She swallowed. She says I should come home, that he's asking for me. Daniel's heart sank. Do you want to go? Mary looked around. At the island, the sea, the lighthouse. She pressed a hand to her stomach, and then back to the letter. Daniel had never seen such a look across his wife's beautiful features. I don't know. He's my father, but this is our life now, right? Our commitment. I can't just... Daniel called Mary by her given name. Catherine, if you need to go, we'll find a way. I'll wire the service, request temporary relief. No. No. Her grip tightened. No, they would use it as an excuse to reassign you. They would, and we have this baby coming, and we need this posting, Daniel. The money, the future. She forced a small smile. Besides, it's just pneumonia. People recover from it. My father is a doctor. And by the time I get there, he could be perfectly... She didn't finish the sentence. They both knew. Even if she left on the next boat, it would take days to reach Philadelphia. And if her father was ill, as her mother said, I'm staying, Catherine said. This is where I belong. I belong with you and our child. She stood up and walked over to the kitchen window, looking out to the sea. I'm staying. I'm staying. But after that day, something changed in her. She was quieter, would stand at windows for long periods, staring out at nothing. At night, Daniel would wake to find her side of the bed empty, and he'd go downstairs and find her in the kitchen, just sitting in the darkness, not moving. Mary. Can you call me Catherine? That is the name that my father gave me. Of course. Daniel was taken aback. Of course I can call you Catherine. I thought you liked my pet name for you. It's my given name, my Christian name that my father gave me. Please, call me Catherine. She turned to him slowly, like waking from a dream some nights. Catherine, come back to bed. You need to rest. The baby. I'm sorry, Daniel. I couldn't sleep. I'm thinking about home. About my father. About... Oh, Daniel, I fear that he's dead. I feel empty somehow. She would trail off, shaking her head. And I think things, terrible things. About what? Nothing. Just thoughts. Dark thoughts. The kind that you have at 3 a.m. in the morning when the fog is thick and you can't see past your own hand. Daniel would make her tea, lead her back to bed, and hold her till she fell asleep. But he knew, he could feel it. The island was starting to work on her, just as Morrison had said. He thought about the 3 women that had walked into the sea, and it terrified him. The isolation, the thought of her father being gravely ill, the constancy of the wind and the waves, the absence of any other human voice. And something else, something that he couldn't quite name. Something that lived in the smell of rot. Catherine began to tell him, this house stinks. It stinks so bad. I need you to do something about it, Daniel. And the sounds under the wind and the way the fog moves sometimes, thick and white as milk, pressing against the windows like hands trying to find their way in. The supply boat came once more before winter truly set in. It was November the 23rd. Captain Morrison looked grim as he supervised the unloading of the winter stores. This is it. Until March, he said. Maybe longer if we get bad ice. You've got everything you need. Daniel checked his list. Lamp oil for 6 months. Coal for the stove. Preserves for food. Medical supplies, books, everything. Is she all right? Morrison noticed the slight rise of her belly. Congratulations, my boy. I think we're set. Morrison handed him a bundle of mail and newspapers and something else. A small package wrapped in brown paper. What's this? It's from your wife's family. Came with instructions to deliver it directly to her. Morrison's expression was carefully neutral. You might want to open that one in private, especially with her condition. After the boat left, Daniel brought the package inside. He walked in the bedroom and closed the curtain. Inside was a black bordered letter and a small photograph. Catherine walked in. What are you doing? What did you open? Daniel's eyes watered. He could not hide this from her. It would be wrong. I asked you, Daniel, what are you holding? Did you bring me a gift? No. He took the black bordered letter and the small photograph, turned around and placed it in her hand. She saw the picture of her father. Catherine made a sound, not quite a sob, not quite a scream, something in between. I knew it. He's dead, she whispered. My father died on November the 10th, Daniel. I told you. I felt it in my soul. She looked up at Daniel, her face bloodless. I should have gone. I should have been there. He asked for me, and I did not go. I chose you over him. I chose this place over him. And now he's dead, and I never get to say goodbye. Daniel grabbed her and tried to pull her to him, but she pulled away. But he pulled again and held her while she wept. But even as he made soothing sounds and stroked her soft hair, promising her that it wasn't her fault, he felt a cold certainty settling in his gut. That night, he checked his logbooks. What night was it that the light had went out? Sure enough, there logged in his handwriting was November the 10th. The night that the storm hit. The night the lens mechanism broke. The night that Daniel had spent 2 hours in the tower, feeling something circling in the darkness below. That night that Catherine had stood at the window. It was just coincidence. right? It had to be. But Daniel couldn't shake the feeling that something had been taken that night. The island had reached out across hundreds of miles of dark water and taken something from Catherine. Payment for staying, price for choosing this rock over family. He wasn't sure. That was a silly thought. After that night, Catherine completely changed. Stopped sleeping for more than an hour or two at a time. And Daniel would wake in the darkness to hear her downstairs, not crying, not moving, just standing at the windows, listening to something that he couldn't hear, waiting for something that he couldn't see. Part 3. The piano. December brought cold that cut like knives. The temperature dropped into the teens and stayed there. Ice formed in the cistern, just as Morrison said it would. And Welch. Daniel had to break it every morning with an axe to even get water. The pines bent under the weight of the snow. The sea turned black and choppy, its surface mottled with ice floes that ground against each other with sounds like breaking bones. And the fog. God, the fog. Daniel and Mary had never seen anything like it. It rolled in thick and stayed for days, white as milk, cold as death. Daniel would go up to tend the light and couldn't see the gallery rail from inside the lantern room. The beam cut through it weakly, revealing nothing but more white. There was no way that ships were not sinking. There was no way that people were not lost, because the light would not cut through the fog. The foghorn blasted constantly. Bong. Every 30 seconds. For hours, for days. The sound buried into Daniel's skull until he could hear it even when it wasn't running. Until he'd wake in the night, his heart pounding, certain that he'd heard it, even though the fog had lifted and the horn was silent. And his poor wife, Catherine, deteriorated. She stopped eating regularly. Daniel would prepare meals and find them later untouched, cold. She stopped eating, and that was her passion. Stopped collecting beach glass on their walks. Stopped going for walks at all. She'd spend hours standing at the kitchen window, staring into the fog, her breath misting the glass. Catherine, please, talk to me. You need to eat. For the baby. There's nothing to say. Her voice was void and lacked all emotion. You're not well. I'm worried about you. If you don't eat, something's going to... I'm worried about you. Are you? She turned to look at him, and her eyes were strange, distant, like she was looking at something far away that only she could see. Are you worried about me? Or are you worried about yourself? About being alone here with a mad woman? I hope this baby dies. A look of horror crossed Daniel's face. Don't say that! But it's true. isn't it? This is what the island does. Morrison tried to warn us. All keepers, all those wives. How do you know about that? How do you know about that? We all hear it eventually, Daniel. And now I'm hearing it too. Hearing what? She smiled, but it wasn't her smile. The song, la-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. Daniel felt ice in his veins. How long? How long have you been hearing it? I don't know. Maybe forever. I hear it everywhere. It's the one that's under everything. Under the wind and under the water and in the fog. It's always there. And I think that I couldn't hear it before, but now. She turned back to the window. Now I hear it all the time, even when I sleep, especially when I sleep. It's teaching me the melody, note by note, bar by bar. Soon, I'll know it completely. Catherine, you're just exhausted. He reached out to touch her. Don't touch me. You need rest. Real rest. I'll tie you to the bed if I have to. Let me make you something to help you sleep. How about a hot cup of tea? I can't sleep! She whirled on him. And for a moment, her face was twisted with something that might have been rage or fear or both. Don't you understand? When I sleep, it's worse. When I sleep, I'm there. At that moment, Mary collapsed to the floor. I'm under the water, in the dark with she gasped, clutching her stomach. I'm so cold, Daniel. Her voice had changed. It was back to her normal, sweet tone. I'm so cold all the time, like I've already drowned, like I'm already dead and I just don't know it yet. She collapsed, and Daniel called her. Her skin was ice cold, her pulse was rapid and thready. He carried her to the bed, piled blankets on her, and then in the middle of the night, she put her hand beneath the blanket and pulled it out. No! Daniel stoked the stove until the house was sweltering, but when he heard her cry out, he pulled back the blanket and saw the evidence. She had miscarried. Catherine shivered, but even as he tried to clean her, she still whispered about the song. La-da-dee, la-da-da. La-da-dee, la-da-da. She stared into nothing with those two bright, two strange eyes. Daniel didn't sleep that night. He sat beside her bed, holding her hand, weeping and mourning for his lost child. Their lost child. Listening to her mumble in fevered half-sleep, Father, Father. Most of it was nonsense, but sometimes she'd say things that made his skin crawl. The baby wouldn't have made it here. The baby wouldn't have made it. You shouldn't have let the light go out, Daniel. You shouldn't have let the light go out. Daniel, the next morning at dawn, wrote a desperate letter to the Lighthouse service. My wife is seriously ill. fever, delirium, possible exposure-related condition. She has suffered a miscarriage. Request emergency evacuation for medical treatment. Will maintain station solo if necessary. Please advise. He sealed it and put it with the outgoing mail. But there was no outgoing mail. No boats came in December. Nothing would be there until March. He could send all the letters he wanted, but they just pile up on the shelf undelivered until March. They were alone, completely, utterly alone. However, 2 weeks later, when a break in the weather came, a fishing vessel appeared through the fog. Daniel was in the tower when he saw it, a dark shape emerging from the white. His heart leaped. Help! Someone from the outside world had came. Maybe they could take Catherine to the mainland, get her a doctor. She was not the same. He practically fell down the stairs in his haste, ran to the cliff edge, waving and shouting. The boat drew closer. 4 men aboard, their faces hidden by the fog. They anchored in the lee and came ashore in a small tender. "Oh, thank God!" Daniel gasped as they hauled the tender onto the rocks. "My wife she needs..." "We're not here for your wife," Morrison uttered. "We brought something for you," one of the men interrupted. He was huge and bearded, his eyes hard as stones. "From the service, said to deliver it directly to you." "What? I didn't order anything." But they were already unloading something from the lender, something large and heavy, wrapped in canvas. "What is that?" No answer. Morrison looked at him. "Exactly as I promised your wife. How is she?" "She's not doing good." The 4 men began the long climb up the stairs. "What is that?" Carrying their burden between them, Daniel followed, confused and increasingly uneasy, though he didn't know why. When they reached the top, they headed straight for the keeper's house. Didn't knock, just pushed the door open and went inside. "Wait, you can't! My wife, she's not..." But they were already unwrapping it. And what was it? A piano. An upright piano. It was not in the best shape. The wood was dark with age, almost black. The keys were yellowed ivory. Some were even cracked, some missing entirely. The soundboard was warped. The whole thing looked like it had been sitting in damp storage for years. "Where do you want it?" one of the men asked. I didn't order this. There's been a mistake." But Morrison sprouted. "No mistake." The bearded man pulled a crumpled paper from his coat. "I told your wife that when the weather was better, we would bring her a piano. She said she wanted it. This is the only time that we had to deliver it. 1 piano for Miss Catherine Pierce, Seguin Island Station." Daniel snatched the paper and read it. The letterhead was official. The signature looked legitimate. Well, I don't know where..." Mistakenly, when one of the men was moving the piano back against the wall, they hit a key. There was a gasp from the room. The bedroom. "What is that?" Then there was a thump. Daniel rushed in the room and Catherine was getting out of the bed. "Darling, take it easy." What was that sound? She wore her white nightgown, her hair black and tangled, her face pale as fog, but her eyes were locked on Daniel. What was that sound? Was that Wait! She crossed the room so quickly. Daniel had not seen her move that fast in days. Sir! Her voice came from the bedroom doorway. She ran her fingers over the warped wood and pressed a single key. The note hung in the air, pure and clear, despite the instrument's obvious age and damage. Catherine began to cry. The piano! Oh, thank you, she whispered. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She sat down at the bench that another man had brought in, placed her hands on the keys, and played a simple scale. The sound filled the house, beautiful, heartbreaking, the first real music they'd had in over 2 months. Catherine turned to look at Daniel, and for the first time since her father's death, since the miscarriage of the baby, she smiled, really smiled. This is exactly what I needed, she said. This is what I've been missing, Daniel. Music, something beautiful, something human. She began to play. The fishermen were already leaving. Daniel followed them out, his mind racing. Wait! Would you be able to take her back to the mainland? She hasn't been the same since she's been here. Sir, we don't have enough room on the boat. All right. But you'll be back in March. Or perhaps before that? Depends on the weather. Good day, Morrison said. He climbed down the stairs without another word, and within minutes, the boat had vanished back into the fog as if it had never been there. The only sign that it was as he stood along on the cliff listening to the wind and the waves. And then from the house, the sound of piano keys being pressed, one at a time, experimental, learning. And then he heard, la-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. No, that's not right. He should feel relieved. Catherine had something to occupy her mind now. He had heard that music could heal, something to bring her back from whatever dark place that she had been spiraling into. So why did he feel like they had just made a terrible mistake? Why did that piano feel less like a gift and more sinister? He went back inside. Catherine was still at the piano, but she wasn't playing anymore. She was just staring at the keys, her head tilted, listening to something. La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. Catherine, there's supposed to be music with this, she said distantly. Sheet music, but I don't know any. I have the first few bars, but I need more. Daniel looked around. He checked the box. I don't see anything. Mary stood up and lifted up the top of the piano. There it is. Inside was a piece of sheet music, a single. Daniel couldn't believe it. The sheet was just a single sheet of paper, water-stained, yellowed with age. The title written in faded ink at the top, The Maid and the Sea, traditional, unknown. The notation was simple, 16 bars in a minor key, the melody repeating with slight variations. Daniel stared at it. Oh, it's perfect, she breathed, running her hands along the page. Oh, this is perfect. She placed it on the stand, positioned her fingers on the keys. You know, when I used to play piano at the house, at my father's house, we would always put the sheet music on the inside. That's how I knew that it was there. And she began to play. The melody was beautiful, sad and sweet, like a lullaby for the lost. Simple enough that even Daniel could follow it. Complex enough to be genuinely moving. Catherine played it through once, twice, and a third time. Listen, Daniel. La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. Isn't it beautiful? I love it, she said, and for the first time in weeks, she sounded like herself. Daniel, I really love it. I smiled, relief flooding through him. Good. I'm glad. How about I fix you a cup of tea? You can practice. I'm going to practice. I'm going to get it perfect. Then maybe I can learn other songs. I can have more brought from the mainland. Build a repertoire. She was already playing again, working through a difficult passage. Daniel left her to it, climbed the tower to check the light. The fog was thicker than ever, pressing against the glass like something alive. The beam cut through it weakly, and underneath the wind and the foghorn going bong, and the waves, he could hear it now. The piano playing that melody over and over. He told himself this was good. He told himself this will be what heals Catherine. She'll get better. But something deep in his gut, some animal instinct that predated thought, was screaming, you let it go out. Part 4, the song takes hold. Let's take an intermission first, 10 minutes. I also wanted to make an announcement. So, with Halloween, I know that there are going to be the majority of you that are going to be going trick-or-treating with your children, your grandchildren, cousins, family. So, unfortunately, this year, we will not be having a Halloween show. I know. But next year, I'm going to do it differently. We will have the Halloween show earlier in the week, and I will be coming to you from someplace special. So let's take that intermission, enjoy the holiday with your friends, with your family, and we'll be back on Monday night as usual. I'll be right back. Oh, it smells good here. Hey, Lana, what you doing? Watching your game? Is Kansas City winning? That's your Thank you, Lulu. Thank you. So, what are you thinking about Paranormal Wednesday, the Seguin Island Lighthouse? Are you getting those chills yet? Hello, Nana Sherry. Hello, Kim. Do, do, do. Hey, Turtle Woman. I know it, Pastelina. I know it. I love Lighthouse stories too, Lulu. I do as well. Hello, Wolfman76. She did. She lost the baby. I am doing good, Wolfman. How are you? If there is anyone new here, I am Bryn Morgan. I am a horror author. I am also a teller of scary stories. Tonight is Paranormal Wednesday, my favorite night. And tonight we are going from the great state of Maine. So I have been doing a series where I have been visiting every state in the country. And tonight is Maine. And when I started looking for the most haunted location in Maine, and I checked many, many sources, it was unanimous. This was the scariest haunting, true haunting in the great state of Maine. It's giving me chills, and it was giving me chills when I was writing it. So I do hope that you are thoroughly enjoying Paranormal Wednesday. Do you want to hear more? Then hit that follow button and the notification bell and never miss another Twisted Tales Live. And welcome. Do you like scary stories? I will be on tomorrow. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Ethan, thank you for sharing the live. If y'all could share the live. The thing is, I have friends that like scary stories. And a lot of people just don't know that this live even exists. So do you have someone that likes scary stories, that shares your love, that shares your passion? Share it with them. Say, hey, did you know that there is a live that you can go to and watch 5 nights a week on TikTok? And she tells scary stories, just like we were kids. And we used to have bedtime stories. It's like for adults with a scarier edge to it. You might be surprised. They might love it. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. Melanie is my official timekeeper, and I am so grateful. Thank you so, so much. Sandy's mama, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Sandy, do you like scary stories? If you do, you come to the right place. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tapping. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for it all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me show you a couple more pictures of this beautiful lighthouse. I had seen pictures of this lighthouse down through the years, and I had no idea that this was the most haunted location in Maine. It is one of the most beautiful lighthouses that I've ever seen. So this is the Seguin Island Lighthouse. Isn't it lovely? The scariest lighthouse and the most haunted location in Maine. Let me show you another picture. Now that I see it and I see the sun starting to set in this picture, I cannot help but think of the music that must be, playing, and how haunted that this place is. But it is truly lovely. Isn't it beautiful? Have you ever seen it before? To look at it, you wouldn't think that it's haunted, would you? Hello, Lisa Brown. All right, who is ready to get back into the story? Let me see it in the comments. Oh, it's lovely, but terribly haunted. Hello, Carrie McAllister. I am good. How are you? If you're just coming in, tonight I have been telling the story of the Seguin Island Lighthouse in Maine. It is beautiful, but it is the most haunted location in that state. Let's get back into it. Part 4, the song takes hold. Catherine played for 3 hours that first day. When she finally stopped, her face was flushed with pleasure, her eyes bright. She ate dinner, actually ate, cleaned her plate, and talked animatedly about the music, about how good it felt to play again. You have no idea how much pleasure it brings me, Daniel, to be able to run my fingers over the ivory keys and to play it and to hear the music, and with the sounds of the water and the seagulls and the wind, it's just, oh, it's beautiful. It calls to me. She talked about how the melody had a particular quality that she couldn't quite name. It's like, I can't explain it. Don't you like it, Daniel? I want you to like it as much as I do. Do you? Do you? Yes, I love it. It still seems like perhaps it's a bit incomplete, though. Well, maybe there's a sheet that's missing, but I can fix that. I can continue working on it, and I can make it good. I can. Oh, Daniel, I wish my father could have heard it. I wish our son could have heard it. Suddenly, it was as if she changed. A ghost of herself. I would have hummed it to him. Catherine, please don't talk about that. I'm sorry, Daniel. I will get the song right. It will be complete. I just need to practice it more. That night, she slept through until dawn for the first time in weeks. When she woke, she walked in the kitchen. Daniel was sitting at the table. Would you like a cup of tea? She kissed him quickly on the lips and went straight to the piano and played for 5 hours straight. Daniel told himself it was good, that she was engaged again, that she was present. The music was medicine for her grief and isolation. But by the third day, something was very wrong. Catherine played from dawn until midnight with only breaks for food that she barely touched. She would cry, I miss my father. I miss my son. La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee. It's still not right. It's still not right. She played the same melody over and over and over again. She'd work through it slowly, then faster, then slow again, making tiny adjustments, humming along under her breath. La-da-dee, la-da-da. Mary. I told you not to call me Mary anymore. My name is Catherine. Don't you want to take a break from this, dear? Daniel asked. Why don't we go for a walk? The wind has been milder today and the fog is lighter. Or perhaps we could pull out one of your favorite books and read. I don't want to read. I want to play. Then she looked at him. I'm sorry. Soon. I just need to get this right. You have it right. You played it 100 times, Catherine. Daniel's voice was no longer sweet. It was full of irritation and frustration. And he kept hearing this voice in the back of his head whisper, you let it go out. No. Her fingers kept moving. There's something that I'm missing, a quality, a feeling. It's in the music somewhere. I just need to find it. By the fourth day, she was playing 12 hours straight. The same 16 bars, over and over. The melody had lodged itself in Daniel's brain like a parasite. He'd catch himself humming it while he worked. La-da-dee, la-da-da. No, I don't want to hear it. He found himself tapping the rhythm while he ate. La-da-dee, la-da-da. It played behind his eyes when he tried to sleep. Da-da-dum, da-da-dee, da-da-dum. It's not dumb, it's la-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. If you're going to say it right. Simple, beautiful, maddening. Daniel left the lighthouse. He walked inside, took off his coat, his boots. She was playing the piano still. Catherine, I want to talk to you. When I'm done. Not a moment before. Catherine, listen to me. You are not all right. You're not all right. I'm sending a letter to the Lighthouse, Cyrus, and you are going back on the mainland. You're going to stay with your mother. Don't you dare think of taking me away from this. This is the only thing that is giving me any happiness. Daniel could not figure it out. Where had his sweet wife gone to? Where was the soft, gentle voice, lilting and kind? He hadn't heard it for days. You're going. I am not going. Suddenly, Daniel was raised up in the air and thrown at full speed across the room. He landed across the kitchen cabinet and crumpled to the floor. Oh my God, Daniel! What in the world? What just did that? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. What had just picked him up and threw him across the room into the cabinets? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Daniel. Please, don't take me away from this. It's the only thing that brings me happiness. If you do. She raised her head and looked at him. The blue eyes were gone, replaced by black. I don't know what I'd do if you were to make me leave. I don't know what I'd do. And then she rose. Daniel watched as she walked back to the piano, pulled out the bench, sat back down, and began to play. I'll rest when I found it, Daniel. When I have the song complete, we'll be done. When you've found what? He grabbed his back where the cabinet had hit, and he could tell that it was swelling. The heart of it, the truth, under the notes. Her eyes never left the sheet music. It's there. It's there, Daniel, and I can almost hear it if I just play it right. If I can just find the right touch, it will reveal itself to me. Daniel began to dread going into the house because the music never stopped. Morning, noon, night, the same melody played on an endless loop. It filled every room, seeped into every corner, invaded every thought. And it was starting to sound different. The notes were the same. The melody was unchanged, but something about how Catherine played it had shifted. La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. There was a quality creeping into the music that was something cold and vast and dissonant. Something that made the hairs on Daniel's neck stand up. Something wrong. 1 week after the piano arrived, Daniel woke at 3 a.m. to find Catherine gone. She wasn't in the house. He rushed outside. A thick fog bank was coming in from the mainland. She was standing on the rock cliff, wearing her white gown. She looked like a ghost. Over the wind, he could hear her humming. La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, la-da-da. Looking down into the black water. Catherine! She didn't turn. Her dark hair whipped around her shoulders and her face, stinging. It was cold in the teens. He ran across the rocky cliff and grabbed her, picking her up. No! Let me go! Let me go! But he held on to her with all of his might. When he got back in the house with her, she was freezing. Her teeth were chattering. Her nightgown was soaked from the spray. Catherine, please, for the love of God, please stop this. He lay down with her on the bed, holding her shivering hand. And even through her chattering teeth, she still hummed the song. Daniel eventually fell asleep. He woke the next morning and found her at the piano. The house was freezing because the stove had gone out hours ago. Her breath misted in the air. Her fingers moved over the keys, but slower now, stiffer. Catherine. Daniel touched her shoulder and jerked back. She was ice cold. Her skin felt like frozen meat. Catherine, my God, you're going to catch your death. No, darling. I can hear it better in the cold, she said without stopping, without turning. When I'm cold, I can hear what the wind is saying to me. I can hear the water. I can hear what the song is saying to me. What it's always been saying. Daniel hated to ask, what is it saying? Come down, come home, come down, come home, come down. Her voice was dreamy, distant. That's what it means. The maid and the sea. It's not a story, it's an invitation, a calling. The maid hears the sea singing and she goes to it. And I was going to it last night until you came and got me. She goes down into the dark and the cold and becomes part of the song forever. Catherine, you're not making any sense. Come back to bed. You wouldn't try to pull me away, would you, Daniel? Remember, you let it run out. You're fevered. You're not. You let it go out, Daniel. You let it go out. I'm clearer than I've ever been. She turned back to the piano, began playing again, as if she had not just said those words to Daniel at all. I understand now. The piano isn't the point. The music isn't the point. They're just tools. They're just tools, but it still wants me to play. And so I'm going to play. Her fingers moved over the keys, and this time Daniel heard it clearly. There was something underneath the melody. A voice. Perhaps a second voice or two. not quite harmonizing, not quite dissonant, something that shouldn't be possible with a single piano, with a single player. But it was there, and it was growing stronger. Daniel backed away. I'm getting you to a doctor, and you are staying on the mainland, and you are not coming back. Mary just looked at him. Her eyes were black. Out of nowhere, Daniel screamed out. Across his arm were 3 scratches. Deep, bloody, red, angry. And then, as if she was floating, she neared him. It won't let you leave. It won't let you take me. I am the maid that is to go into the sea. You let it burn out. You let it go out, Daniel. She played on, and the second voice grew louder, and then the third. And Daniel fled to the tower because he couldn't stand to be in the house for one more second. The scratches burned him so badly on his arm. From the gallery, he looked down at the keeper's house. Warm light glowed from the windows, and from inside, muffled by wails and distance, he could hear it. The piano, that same melody, playing over and over again. But this time, it wasn't alone. Something was along underneath it. Something that wasn't Catherine, that wasn't his Mary, something that had never been human. What had scratched him? What had thrown him across the room? Part 5, the transformation. By the end of the second week, Catherine rarely left the piano. She was now playing for 18 to 20 hours straight. Daniel would not even sleep in the house anymore. He slept in the tower. And when he would wake up, it was the first thing he would hear. That cursed melody, those same 16 bars had become the soundtrack to their existence. It was everywhere, in the wind, in the waves, in the creaking of the house, and the groaning of the foghorn. Bong. The whole island seemed to pulse with it, as if the rock itself had learned the tune and was resonating in sympathy. And Catherine was changing. Her nail beds were bloody. Her eyes were black. Her voice was deep. Catherine. Daniel went back one more time. Catherine, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I found a boat. It's in the house, out back, underneath. It's rickety, but I think that it will work. I think that we can get off this island. I don't want to lose you. Look at your hands. Look at your hands. They're adapting, she said without concern, without stopping. The song requires precision. My body is learning, Daniel. Learning what? How to play it properly, my dear. But it wasn't just her hands. Her hair had begun falling out in clumps, patches, leaving odd spots on her scalp. The skin there looked strange, pale, almost translucent. She'd stopped eating entirely. Daniel would prepare meals and she'd wave them away, never taking her eyes from the keys. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Never breaking the rhythm of the melody. Catherine, you have to eat! I'm not hungry. You haven't eaten in days. You'll starve, he begged her. Will I? Will that be such a bad thing? And then, sharp pain down his back. Oh! I told you. You're not taking me anywhere. What did you say? She stood up. She walked over to him. I said, you're not taking her anywhere. Daniel was afraid, and he backed off. Her eyes had changed. The whites had taken on a complete black. Her pupils were dilated, enormous, black pools that seemed to reflect nothing. When light hit them, there was no human gleam, just that flat, alien darkness. You're not Catherine. No, I'm not. You let it out. You let it go out. Daniel ran from the house, ran up the tower steps. Daniel pressed his forehead against the cold glass and prayed. He prayed for dawn, for spring, for rescue, for any escape from this nightmare, but there was no escape. No boats would come until March, and whatever that thing was that was in the house, it was not his Mary. No one knew what was happening here. They were all alone with that thing. The scratches on his back were becoming infected, as were the ones on his arm. That night, Daniel woke to silence. The piano had stopped. For the first time in 2 weeks, the house was quiet. And then it started again. Daniel lay in bed, his heart pounding, his makeshift pillow and blanket not protecting him from the cold. Catherine. My God, Catherine. What happened to you? He mourned his wife. He mourned his unborn child. He mourned it all. He went to the door of the house the next morning. He would not enter it. The piano was playing. Catherine, listen to me. This place has poisoned your mind. You're sick. But I can help you. I can. You can't help me. She smiled, and something black dripped from between her teeth. No one can. No one can help her. Now leave. She turned back to the piano. The fog had lifted for the first time in weeks, and in the moonlight, Daniel could see the sea around the island. The water churned and rolled, not with the random chaos of waves, but with purpose, with intention. The same melody that Catherine had been playing for weeks was continuing to play. Da-da-dee, da-da-dum, da-da-dee, dum-dum-dum. He had the boat. He didn't know if he would make it back to the mainland or not. He wasn't going to try to force her. She was lost to him. But then, something changed. He watched from the top of the lighthouse. He saw the door open, and Catherine walked out in her white gown with her black hair. She stood at the cliff's edge, her arms spread wide, and singing back. Her voice was not human anymore. Couldn't be human. It resonated in frequency that made Daniel's bones ache and his brain hurt, that made his teeth vibrate, that made reality feel thin and fragile. She was calling to it, finishing the song, opening the way. No, I will not let you have her. Daniel ran down the steps, across the cliff. No! Daniel grabbed her, pulled her back from the edge. She struggled, inhumanly strong, her nails raking his arms, drawing blood. You're not going anywhere. You're going with me. She grabbed his throat and began to choke him. I told you you're not taking her anywhere. Daniel released her and she crashed on the cliff rocks. He didn't want to let her go. He couldn't. She was his wife, and he would not give her to the dark. She's already gone. She's not here anymore. You cannot stop what has begun, Daniel. The voice was almost normal again. The song is complete. I want to come down. I want to come down to the sea. I will join the chorus, and then others will hear me, and they will come, and the deep will rise. All around them, he could begin to hear the voices of women, the women who had went into the sea. And then he realized she was already lost. Whatever Catherine had been, she was gone. She was his instrument now, its voice, its herald, and it would never let her go. The piano never stopped. Day and night, that same melody played on and on and on in an endless loop. Even when Catherine finally collapsed from exhaustion and the keys went quiet, Daniel could still hear it in his head, behind his eyes, in the pulse of his blood. Da-da-dee, da-da-dum, da-da-dee, da-da-dum. He'd wake up humming it, find himself tapping the rhythm while he ate, while he worked, while he climbed the tower stairs. 73 steps and his feet would hit each in time with the melody. He had tried to leave. He had tried to leave in the boat, but the boat sank. Thankfully, it was only a few feet from the shore, and he was able to wade back to the island. One night, though, it came to an end. He could feel it building towards something, toward a crescendo, a final note that would crack the world open and let the deep pour through. He started having lost time, couldn't remember what day it was anymore. Daniel woke at 3 a.m., stumbled down the stairs. The piano was going. That's it. I'm done. He walked down the steps, went in the small shed, and picked up an axe. It was done. It was over. I will not listen to that sound anymore. He didn't decide to unalive her. Not consciously. Later, much later, in those final moments of clarity before the end, he would be able to say that he picked up the weapon. And when he crossed the room, when everything had gone from horror to action, one moment he was standing there, listening to her play the piano, humming that melody, his hands tapping rhythms on the handle of the weapon. And then the next thing he knew, he was walking across the floor. He brought it down on the piano first. Wood splintered, strings screamed. Catherine screamed. The thing in her screamed. And Daniel swung again, and again, and again. Not to save her, not to free her, not out of love or mercy, but because the noise was killing him. Because the song was eating his brain. Because if he heard one more note, one more bar, one more repetition of that cursed melody, he would go completely, irreversibly mad. But wait. He already had. Catherine tried to stop him, threw herself over the piano, trying to protect it, trying to keep playing, even as the keys shattered beneath her bleeding hands. No! The song! I have to finish the song! It needs me to finish! La-da-dee! La-da-da! And then Daniel missed the piano. And he hit her. Not with the axe at first, with his fist. Hard enough to knock her away from the piano. She scrambled back, hissing, her transformed face twisting with rage and madness. Sing it again. He brought the axe down, but it wasn't on the wood. Finish it. It came down again on her flesh. At this point, he didn't know what was the piano and what was Mary. It was swinging. The weapon was swinging hard. After it was over and his hands were drenched in red, he didn't remember the killing. Not really, just fragments. Images burned into his mind like photographs. The weapon, picking it up, walking in the house, splintering it. Catherine's face, not afraid, not sad, but ecstatic. And then the blood. So much blood, black and wrong and hissing where it touched the floor. Her body on the ground, broken and still. And somehow, her mouth still moving, still forming the words, still humming a melody after she should be dead. La-da-dee. La-da-da. Daniel lowered the weapon again, and again, and again, long after she'd stopped moving, long after anything recognizable remained, because he could still hear it, still hear that voice joining the song in his head. Catherine was dead. The piano destroyed, but the melody played on, in the wind, in the waves. In Daniel's own thoughts, louder than ever before, because he failed. He tried to stop it, and he failed. The song was complete. The way was open. All that was left for him to do was to finish what Catherine had started. He walked to the edge of the cliff, holding the weapon, and dropped it, where it clattered to the rocks below. He looked over. Come down, come down, come down to the sea. Catherine's blood drying black on the blade. Below, the sea churned, and something vast circled in the deep. Come down, come down, come home. Yes, yes, come home. Daniel looked back at the keeper's house, at the life he tried to build there, at the wreckage of everything that he'd loved. His wife, his bride, his child, his sanity. He could go down. He could walk into the sea. And then, on the waves, he saw her. Mary, wearing a long, flowing white gown with her dark hair whipping around her face. Come down, come down, come down to me. Come to me, Daniel. You want me? After what I did? Daniel laughed, that high, cracked sound again. And there, on that cold, foggy night, Daniel surrendered to the sea. He went down, down, down. "16 bars of cursed melody. The maid belongs to the sea. Piano keys, both black and white, play the song both day and night. In the keeper's house of stone, where two voices sing alone. Da-da-dee, da-da-dum. Come down, come home to me. The keeper's wife with blackened eyes, husband's madness, bloody cries, axe that falls on flesh and bone, now they sing in monotone. Da-da-dum, da-da-dee, forever, eternally. If you hear them through the fog, playing their eternal song, do not listen, do not stay, turn around and run away, for the melody will burrow deep, rob you of your food and sleep, take your mind and take your will, make your fingers move until you return to that dark shore. Join the chorus evermore. Sing the song the deep choirs, feed its ancient, hungry desires. Da-da-dee, da-da-dum. The island's song will set you free. Beware, Seguin, beware the light, beware the music in the night. For Daniel and Catherine Pierce remain, forever singing their refrain. My stories burrow deep, where they cannot flee. And it's in the darkest corridors of your nightmares. You belong to me. Pleasant dreams. Night over there in White Channel Land,